Hello, anybody, somebody, nobody who will never see this. This is Free Dogs Under Faust, the Whiff. Come back at you with some more Warhammer 40k. Trying to change my sound. I don't know if it's going to be really crazy. Um, so I have two armies I'm going to showcase. Both are Necrons. So the first one is going to be an updated one for the old Necron list. So after running some numbers, the other one doesn't come close to damage output as long as you get the Silent King in. You need to get him into melee turn one. Um, and if you don't, you're gonna have problems. But if you can get him into melee, more so Illuminor Xeris gives him the buff for toughness, which is 1 out of 3. The strength ain't bad either. You just really don't need the ballistic skill for the most part. Um, this list is much better at that point. Uh, you still get both Catan, which is the big thing I wanted, and for some reason, God knows why, if Silent King isn't dead, and you still have your Technomancer there, you can proceed to buff him and return one of these and heal him for D3, potentially making 8 wounds get recovered, which is just nuts. And it stops him from dying because wounds have to get allocated over here. So that is just nutty. Um, I think some people aren't expecting or they can't handle him all up in your face turn one, uh, which is the point. But again, you need to get that charge. So without further ado, Necrons. This is 2 patrols. Oh, and uh, plus a heavy support auxiliary detachment. It's gonna be 2K, and you're gonna start at 1 CP. You're gonna have two 20-man Necron warrior blobs, one 10-man Necron immortal blob, and they're just there to help support, but more so because they just got Plink. Really, it's just to do objectives. Catan Shard of the Void Dragon, Catan Shard of the Nightbringer, and one Silent King. A Technomancer with the Veil of Shadows, and he's got the cloak. And then Necron Lord and Illuminor Xeris. That way, if you lose Zarek, you still have a Noble, so you can still have command protocols, so you can still get Undying Legion. Zarek is Uncanny Artificers. Each time a model with this code would lose a wound as a result of a mortal wound, roll a d6 on a 5-0, the wound is not lost, so they got a 5-up, feel no pain. And each time a unit with this code is selected to shoot or fight, you can reroll 1 wound roll when making that unit's attacks. When the protocol of the Undying Legions becomes active for your army, I deleted the other half of that giant paragraph. You basically get both as long as you have a noble and you don't aren't messing with other conditions, and they have certain conditions. Like the Nightbringer doesn't get it, etc. Anyone who knows Necrons understands. So this army is right now kind of how most people are playing Necrons. I don't like it because Zarek is not T8. Um, and he has this big old throne and thing. Yeah, it's odd. I if he was T8, that changed my mind because then he could maybe get to T9. That'd be way different. The fact that he has core right now and you can do the shenanigans with Technomancer is the only reason I think this is better. If that gets changed, then I will change this back to a different Necron list. Probably back to what I had before, or something similar to that. Um, until then, I think Undying Legions is really nice with Necrons, and it's going to lead me into the next thing I'm going to talk about. But that's going to be a separate video. I don't really have much more to say. I think the cool thing about this is that you have basically 3 heavy hitters: Nightbringer, Void Dragon, and Zarek, who are just going to be messing with your opponent. This is going to soak everything probably from your opponent round 1, which if that does, then they either do light or nothing. That's going to let both of the Catan shards march up as well. And that hopefully lets your Necron warriors behind them or next to them march up, and you just have a monster mash with your 3 big guys. And then if they die, oh no, you still win the game via objectives, because Necrons is one of the best for secondaries right now and holding stuff. So yeah, that's the plan. This one I think is more cool because at least you get to interact with your opponent, and if you do get that first turn thing. So again, I have the Technomancer with Veil of Shadows instead of a Chronomancer. Chronomancer would give Zarek free reroll for the charge. But one, you might make the charge anyway, so it doesn't matter. And two, you want the Technomancer because that's what's going to give him the buffs, which then you could fly him over there, and so that it doesn't target him. But Zarek is going to give Lookout Surge to the Technomancer anyway. If the Technomancer absorbs damage, that's going to kind of work out anyway as well. And there's no guarantee Zarek is going to be alive because the thing to do the heals, and right, it's a reanimation. That's the command phase, so you can't fly him over and still do it because that's movement phase. So you need to already be there. So it's very niche. But Lord, if he just one single wound and he is alive within the range to revive, oh, it just gets disgusting. This comes back and then he gets a heal. Oh, oh, it's so gross. Yeah, and so, well, he's gonna heal already because of the whatever living metal, and they get an extra heal because of the fact that they're getting the Protocol of Undying Legions. They get both. Yeah, so that's gonna be quite nutty. Um, if you like this list, try it out. I think it's quite odd. This is a bit. I played Custodes, and this is even a bit much for me, but I might try it. I'm very anxious. Without further ado, if you like any material I put out, like, share, and subscribe. Put down in the comments below any thoughts you have. Feel free to reach out. If you like the content, also my Twitch handle is in the text below, along with the Google Drive, which is going to have all these lists, which I'm going to update on the Google Drive, so you can go check those out. Take care.